I'm gonna use this for its intended purpose. Oh, R.I.P. Warner Brothers. I'm so sorry. Welcome, Netflix. We'll see how that goes. Am I right? I've already tried recording this video like thrice already. Since it's my first one back, I'm having a hard time. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It has been like 7 or 8 years since I've uploaded last, and I feel ready to come back. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and in this corner of the internet, my little corner, I want to create a space where everyone can feel welcome, especially those like me who are going through the weirdest time of life that I've ever been through, which is mid-20s. 26 has been strange so far, and it's something that I really would like to share with other people who are that age that are going through something similar. I like to watch a lot of videos about people navigating their mid-20s, going through the same struggles that I'm going through. And I feel like while those are extremely helpful and while they are all very thesis oriented, wanting to give advice, wanting to give encouragement, I do feel like there are some things that maybe are not fully transparent. I want to come on here and be a relatable person. I want to be an older sister. I want to feel like you're talking to your bestie. I want to be a place where we can all kind of be authentic and relate to each other. It's also a place for me to express my own feelings and emotions on this crazy journey. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in and that you need in your life, then join me on this journey of relatability. Being in your 20s, where do I even begin? It is so stressful. And right now in my mid-20s, I feel a different level of burnout than I think I have ever felt being alive. In my early 20s, I felt like the whole world was open in front of me. I felt like I was graduating out of college and starting to be a professional in this world that had everything to give to me that I could explore. And I was also graduating in the middle of a pandemic. I was graduating into the workforce when it was shut down, and that was extremely unfortunate. I went to school for audio engineering and I graduated in 2021. The pandemic was still a huge part of our lives at that time, and so I wanted to go pursue audio engineering, which is a highly people-oriented, events-oriented, creative industry. And at that time, the creative industries were really basically shut down for the most part. I basically entered the world as one of those starving artist types where I went and worked another job that was not creative at all immediately out of college just to start working and start my career. And I know a lot of people, they didn't start doing what they wanted to do right out of school, obviously. Actually, most people I know didn't go start working on things they wanted to right out of school. And I think that that's something that we can all basically relate to, especially if you graduated in the pandemic. You didn't have the same internship opportunities. You didn't have the same job opportunities. You didn't have the same connection opportunities that those of us now who are graduating have. It was a difficult time to become an adult, I will say, and I wouldn't really wish it on anyone. During that time, still felt like I am such a beginner. I'm a fresh person in this atmosphere, in this adulthood. I am brand new. I don't know anything. I'm useless. I mean, it's not like you don't know anything coming out of college, obviously. You are very fresh. I think now in my mid-20s, there's a shift between feeling like I didn't know anything before. I actually have life experience now. I have a pavement that I'm standing on of life experiences that I've experienced in the past. I now have a little bit, very small, I might add, I have a bank of memories to look back on to kind of inform my decisions and to show me where I'm going. It's not expansive, it's not extensive, but I'm not as clueless as I used to be. And on top of that, I'm not as much of a new professional as I used to be. I've been in the career that I'm in right now, quote unquote career, because, you know, I'm in the journey that I'm in right now. It took me several years after college to actually figure out what the heck I was supposed to do. I've been in this particular career space for about 3.5, almost 4 years, and it's been fulfilling at some points, and it's been unfulfilling at some points. And I'm trying now to kind of get to the point where I feel like I'm fulfilled every day. I think as a young professional, eating up the world, trying to just drink from this giant fire hose that is life, that is your career, that is your aspirations. It's hard, you know, in the beginning to figure out where to go first. And now in my mid-20s, it almost feels like there are too many. I know where to go, but also there are 50 billion choices that it's almost decision paralyzing. It is overwhelming to me. Not everyone gets to have choices. And so I am lucky and blessed to be in this position. But when you make a new decision in your life, it's kind of like one time I heard Obama talk about this particular concept in the form of the government. He was talking about decision making in the government and how the government itself is kind of like a large cargo barge. It's huge and it can't turn very easily. So when you make correction on the direction, it has to be gradual. It can't turn fast. I kind of heard him talk about that, and it kind of made me think about life in general. You change your mind or you pivot. You're going to have a moment to transition. You're going to have a moment of getting used to this new direction. So you have to like ease into it, if you will. And it's something that I personally have trouble with right now, being 26. It feels like there are a bunch of different directions to go in. I could be this person. I could do this career. I could have this relationship. I could have this friendship. I could do anything, really. Am I going to start making good money? No. Am I going to have to redo my skills if I go into a new career field? Yes. Am I going to have to like get to know people if I want new friendships and new relationships? Yes, it takes effort to do anything, and it takes like years of effort. So it almost feels like any choice I make now will take years to get used to, and then my 20s will be over. Because realistically, 26 is closer to 30 than I've ever been, which is actually insane. Wow, I don't look at a 30-year-old and say, "You're old." Myself being 30 or entering the next decade of my life is something that is a little bit daunting, not gonna lie. I want to be a certain person by the time that I'm 30. I have a nebulous vision of who I want to be by the time that I'm 30. And if I make certain decisions, how are they going to affect me in the next 4, 5, 6 years? When I was 22, I didn't think this way because I didn't have the wealth of knowledge. Wealth. I say wealth, it's like 4 years. What I mean is I didn't have any life experience to stand on. I didn't have any sort of guide from my own brain on what to do next. And now that I'm 26, now that I feel like I have lived a little bit of life, it's easier for me to look back on my own experience instead of dreaming ahead, instead of thinking ahead in the future. I look back and say, well, you know, this is how this happened last time, so I don't necessarily want to go down the same route. I don't want to make the same mistakes. I don't want to do the same thing lest I put myself in a bad situation. Realistically, these days, I'm kind of just trying to find a balance of how much do I stay the course? How do I know when to pivot? How do I know when to make a new decision? You don't just want to like blow your life up all the time. You know, if you have a good thing going and you don't know you have a good thing going and then blow it up, like what the heck? It's all extremely stressful. There's a couple of things right now, though, in the midst of all of this turmoil, mental internal internal mental turmoil that I'm going through. There are a couple of anchors that keep me sane while I'm going through this. Pieces of advice I've gotten from very important people in my life. One of them being a close friend of mine that when I was struggling with trying to figure out how to even start creative work, how to even get in contact with people in film, because that's what I would like to do, is be in film. My friend told me, start first with your portfolio. Go back and look at the work you've already done. Just start there. And I think adding on to that, the age-old proverb of if you don't have something to work on, create, is a very, very good combo. If you don't have something to put your time and effort into, what in your own brain can you make that is something that you can work on? I took his advice, my friend. I started my own little portfolio online. I used a Wix website, had all of my work, all of my resume, my little intro about myself, and doing that when I was struggling in a job I hated doing, I got to see that I was already a little farther than I thought that I was. And so something like that is a good exercise of being like, you do have the tools, you do have the ability and the potential. It just takes time. It takes time to build. It takes time to connect. It takes time to work on something. And that shouldn't be taken for granted, because when you put time and effort into something, that is not time wasted. That's time well spent. Another aspect of this is fear of failure. Putting your time and effort into something is scary when you don't necessarily know where it's going to go. If you're going to be successful in your own margin of success, or if you're going to fail. You don't know, and you never know when you make a new decision how the outcome is going to turn out. Something else I remind myself of when it comes to fear of that failure or fear of making a decision is something my dad told me. It was right after I just gotten my car back from some work it was having done on it because it got stolen. Long story, I will make another video about it. I had just gotten it back from the shop and it was in pristine condition, and I drove it and I was so scared that something was going to happen to it, that I was going to mess it up or something, that I backed it into a brick mailbox. I basically scared myself into backing my car into a brick mailbox, which was hilarious in hindsight. But at the time, I freaked out and I called my dad, because of course you're going to call your dad about a car thing. He said, "Oh, honey, it's okay." Because it was just a cosmetic dent on the outside. He said, "It's okay, honey. This is the first time that you've done this, and you're really only just gonna keep doing it." He said, "As you drive a car, you're gonna be using it. There's gonna be dents on it. There's gonna be paint issues. There's gonna be, like, you're gonna use your vehicle. You're just gonna have to get used to doing this because it'll happen again. The first time you do anything is always gonna be the hardest, but the next time it happens, it won't be as bad." And I kind of use that like as an example of how to live life. So in your 20s is the first time you're doing everything. You're a beginner of everything. It is the time to try and learn new things as much as you possibly can. It's not easier than any other time in your life to learn new things, but it is just like overwhelmingly new. And so I kind of took that piece of advice and blew it up to my life, where it is like, this is my first time paying taxes. Oh, this is my first time paying rent. This is my first time calling about my oil change. This is my first time going to an industry event. This is my first time reaching out for advice for somebody I've never met. This is my first time viewing a house, touring an apartment. This is my first time buying a vehicle. This is my first time buying health insurance. Oh my God, that's the thing about 26 that they don't tell. Oh my God, health insurance. Being on your own health insurance is a journey. Especially if you're self-employed like me, health insurance is a bitch. It's a hassle. It's okay though. Again, the first time you do it, worst time you do it. Anything after that is just gonna be building on that first time. It will get better. You will get better at doing everything that you try, as long as you keep doing it. And that's the thing. Just because it's hard, don't give up. Just because life is difficult, don't give up. Keep putting a foot in front of the other, and you will succeed in some way or another. You're always gonna be able to try again. There's always going to be a new day, a new sunrise. There's this Owl City lyric that says, "It hurts just to wake up whenever you're wearing thin." And I think that is kind of the life that I'm living right now. Waking up feeling stretched, feeling exhausted because you're just mentally, you're trying to work out all of these things while having to wait, while having to go through the motions, while having to find out your next step. By just living life, it wears you thin. I think this is the hardest decade for a reason. I just heard Mel Robbins say that the other day, and I think I totally agree. I feel as if everything only just gets better if you keep putting work and effort into it. My life now is better than it was when I was 25. My life now is better than it was when I was 24, 23, 22, 21, 18. It will get better. It just takes time and it takes life experience. My thesis, kind of for the rest of this year, upcoming 2026, I want to keep on experiencing new things. I want to put effort into the things that make me happy, and I want to make sure that I reduce the things in my life that are not worth my time, that are not worth my effort, because making good choices is just as good as getting rid of things that take away your energy. Going towards things that serve you, it also means letting go of things that don't serve you. Putting your foot on the brake sometimes is not as good as taking your foot off the gas in some areas of your life. My thesis this year is to just experience. And while that's super freaking difficult, I want to take everyone here on that journey with me. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching till the end. I'm so grateful for you. Thanks for supporting my first YouTube video back. This is a big deal for me. And so if you want to follow along on this journey and be part of my little corner of the internet, then go ahead and click subscribe down below and ring the bell so you know the next time that I post. It's going to be kind of like this, as well as lifestyle content maybe interspersed with this, and maybe a couple of like review content. We'll see. I will see all of y'all in my next video, but until then, keep on trucking. We got this. Everything will be okay. It really, really will. I'll see y'all later.